Can you believe it? West Ham 3, Chelsea 2. Twice Chelsea had the lead in this game. Goals from Gerard Bowen, a penalty, and a freak goal at the end from I even forgot his name. I'm so excited. A freak goal at the end. And Chelsea lose. They failed to win twice in the two of their last three Premier League games. 3-2, just as 2 seasons ago in Stratford, East London. West Ham maintain their position in 4th place. Advantage Liverpool. Advantage Manchester City. Huge result this afternoon in the English Premier League. And we did a big space before the game, and I asked the question, does anybody see a shock this weekend? We all said no. These are the coupon busters. These are the weekends. These are the weekends that make all the very difference when it comes to the English Premier League. There is never an easy game. There is never a certainty. There is never a game where you can say categorically 110% it's going to go one way. Best league in the world. Title race was already open. Blown further open now. Top 4 race. It's getting meatier by the minute. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. We're going to share the link now for you guys to come on very soon and have your say. But my word, I'm sorry I'm shouting so much, but I can't help myself. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal game. And I'm just excited. I love football. I absolutely love football. I love these moments. What a game that was. Chelsea, dominant in that first half. The best team in the first half without a shadow of a doubt. The best team by far. Moved the ball well. Good fluidity. Took the lead deserved. Stupid penalty. J5 with a bad back pass. Mendy's to blame, though. You clear your lines. He dilly-daddied. He messed about. He got caught out. Bang. 1-1. You think, right, what's going to happen now? Chelsea, though, took control of the game. Dominant. The better team on the pitch. As I say, what did they do? They went up the other end. They got a goal back straight away. Straight away got a goal back in this game. You're like, okay, it's going to be done and dusted now. But the biggest turning point for me, in my view, watching this today, was the Kai Havertz injury. He came off. Chelsea lost their flow. Chelsea lost something about the game today. For Chelsea went missing when he came off. Lukaku came on. They weren't moving the ball as well. They weren't as fluid in their play. Not in any way, shape, or any form. They just weren't. They couldn't get themselves in. And West Ham grew. They got better and better and better. The equaliser, what a strike by Bowen. Excellent play again. And then all the gilt-edged chances after that came to West Ham. Chelsea had the majority of the ball, but it was West Ham that were looking dangerous. It was West Ham that were looking like the team that were going to do something. Bowen almost made it 3-2. Couldn't quite grow enough to get his foot onto the ball. Chelsea just looked timid after that, a little bit afraid after that. Not the same Chelsea team we've seen over the last 8 to 9 months. Is there a little bit of pressure now that's taken its toll on this side? I want to know. I want your thoughts and feelings. And then the goal went in. Masuaku. I mean, it was a cross. It was a cross. It wasn't a shot. We all know that it was a cross. But my word, the way it deflected, you see it as soon as it left his foot. I'm sitting there watching it. It's like, it's in. And then it was in the back of the net. Sensational after the way to start the weekend for football fans, not for Chelsea fans, of course, who are going to be frustrated. Were the right substitutions made by Thomas Tuchel today? Was the right starting lineup picked? Hudson-Odoi, why was he missing after being so brilliant in recent weeks? Was it the correct decision to bring on Lukaku? I know a lot of people have teased Chelsea fans in recent times about, does he break the flow? Does he damage things, etc.? Maybe there's a point, but I want to hear from some of you on this today. We've got CFC Beast. We've got Matt. We've got Chesney backstage. We're going to share the link with you very, very soon as well. I guess the camera saves ain't for everyone is what GG's got to say here. Right at the death, is that the phrase? That isn't the Football Terrace secret phrase. No. Out of 5 Premier League matches, 8 points. Is that champions quality? The last few games, no. Is in performances. It's if the results don't go your way. Today is a bad day in the office for Chelsea fans. How are they feeling and going to react to that is going to be the next step. David here says, Terry, respect West Ham. I have respected West Ham. I've respected West Ham for weeks now. They are the real deal in this top 4 race. They are not to be trifled with. They simply are not to be trifled with. They are a serious, serious outfit. No doubt about it. Terry, we are not ready to win this title, obviously, is what JJ Bridge has got to say here. Imagine Moyes having been in the job shorter than Arteta and having spent £180 million less. Arsenal fans don't even want to gloat today because they don't like what they're seeing down the road in East London. Take your shots, but we've not been finishing our chances for months, and complacency has affected our defense. Mainly Mendy and Jay are being thinking he's J5 there. Jorginho. Phrase, is it youth revolution? That isn't the secret phrase, but thank you for guessing, my friend. Is the phrase buying opponents' players? No, it isn't. But some of these players have been bought by rivals before. Christensen is the most overrated defender in the Chelsea fan base, by the Chelsea fan base. He always folds in big games. HR. Oh, sorry. I don't know what that meant to something. Chelsea so many games since Conte. I don't know what that means. That last bit is not written too well, but thank you. Is the phrase cross the divide? No, it's not, my friend, but thank you for guessing. Told you that City are the safest bet to win the league is what Wesley's got to say. Mikel Antonio over Lukaku is what's being said here by Guna. Is the secret phrase, again, it's the same old Arsenal. That isn't the secret phrase, but thank you for guessing. That isn't the secret phrase either, but thank you. I want to try and get to some of these comments on the game as well today. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you feel. I see a lot of people talking in the comments about Lukaku flopping when he came on. That is a big talking point today. Is Lukaku an issue for Chelsea more than a benefit with the fluidity of your team? But is this more a system issue? Is this a case of not finishing your dinner? For me, you scored 2 goals away at West Ham. Today was the fact you got caught on the counter too easily today. Chelsea were not at it defensively. That's 2 games running now where teams have got at Chelsea and have been able to open them up. In this title race, 3 or 4 points could be the difference between winning the league and not. Every game matters hugely, and it's going to be really disappointing for Chelsea fans to see this. With the form they've been in for the past 12 months, these 2 games on the bounce have really opened that door now. Really opened that door. I was looking at the league table just here. Chelsea still sits top, of course, after their second defeat on 33, but wins for Liverpool and Manchester City this weekend, today in fact, will put Chelsea back into 3rd place in the league, 6 points behind West Ham. It's now a big weekend for Arsenal and Man United and Tottenham as well to maintain pace with West Ham in the top 4 race. It's exciting beyond belief. But I'm going to bring the boys on now to start having their say. I know Chelsea fans are not going to be happy. Let's get this stream past 1,000 likes, so please. You may not be happy. You may be a Chelsea fan watching who's not happy with your result. But, of course, support the Football Terrace. It gives you a platform to express yourself and to talk and to have your say. If you would be so kind, please whack that for us. West Ham showing their win versus Liverpool was no fluke. Is the secret phrase wonder kid? It isn't wonder kid, but thank you. Do you know what I'd say about your comment there, which is absolutely spot on? I think in game, West Ham just need to be a little bit more, I'm not going to say complacent or humble. I think West Ham just need to be a little less gun-ho when they're playing the middle-of-the-road teams. The way they defended and how resolute they were today is why they were able to get the win. They were like that against Liverpool as well. They were a little bit less open against the smaller teams. I think they wouldn't have dropped some of the points in recent games. And by the way, they should have put Brighton to bed. They had 3 or 4 gilt-edged chances to win the game. In fact, nearly won it after conceding. So they were unlucky in the last match. But West Ham United are the real deal. They will be in this top 4 race until the last 2 or 3 games of the season, no doubt. Rowe here says Christensen could not win a duel. The second goal was Christian's fault. He could have closed his man. He is not worth it. Last season took a red card against Liverpool. Under pressure, he folds, is what's been said by Rowe. One CFC says Lukaku is dead. Didn't want him. Gave him a chance, but he's an old school bully. He doesn't work in football anymore. Chilwell injury ended the title run, is what one CFC has got to say. Chelsea fans not happy with Lukaku today at all. Champions of Europe, we know what we are, is what Kane's got to say. And of course, still champions of Europe, still in this title race, still in with a chance of winning every trophy available to a domestic team in England this season. Every trophy available. Plus the comps you're in December. Every single chance. I wouldn't throw baby out with the bathwater, but I do think some criticism is required here. I want some openness and some honesty. That was grim, is what man like Fator's got to say. Yeah, I bet that was, mate. I bet that was to watch. Alonso, Genie, Ziyech, Werner, Pulisic, Havertz need to go. Andrew here wants all those players out of the Chelsea team. Right, let's go to the first call of the day. Matt's coming on. Matt's obviously a big Chelsea fan. Make sure you've hit that like and share button, people. Let's go. Matt, disappointing result for yourselves today. Give me your take on the performance, the result from Chelsea.
I mean, yeah, for sure, it was horrible. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, it was just individual mistakes. Performances were shit. Mendy, unfortunately, was bad. And I want to quickly say this. I think this is a good point that when we lose, we can see 3 goals. Mendy was horrendous, right? So this adds to the fact that a lot of people saying that Mendy's a shit keeper. It's just his defense carries. Well, defense was decent today, but Mendy was shit, and we can see 3 goals. So Mendy's still a world class keeper. I think it's just a one-off game. I mean, our defense was still pretty solid. Christensen was very quiet, but he pocketed Antonio that whole game. I mean, we barely saw Antonio except for the last 5 minutes. Silva, scored and then the goal line clearance. So everyone had the individual performances, but we also had our individual errors. A lot of errors that happened this game, and I think it comes to our structure and the communication we pursue on the field. I don't know what's gone to us because we always do this. We become Charity FC when we do this. A lot of the Chelsea fans say we call ourselves Charity FC when we do play like this because it's the individual performances that make us play like this. Because there were some standout players, but there was more worse than bad, and I'm really disappointed in this win. I mean, if we got the draw, I still would have been disappointed because we needed a win. Now if Liverpool comes up, we can possibly drop to third. So I'm disappointed, but again, it's football. We're going to move on to the next one. We're still going to be strong, and I still do think we're going to win the league.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think it's about being disappointed without throwing that baby out with the bathwater, as you say. I want to ask you a question about Lukaku. Do you think he's more of a hindrance than a benefit to your team in terms of the fluidity and movement? Because the second half, you really didn't look at it as a team. And I'm asking because I'm seeing that trending from Chelsea fans all across social media. So what's your take, buddy?
Yeah, I've heard that trend. I mean, we've been talking about the fluidity and all that, but it's true. I mean, we throw it around, but it's true. We were much more fluid when we're without Lukaku, and it's because when we have Lukaku on that pitch, our aim is just to give the ball to him, and hopefully he scores. But when he's off the pitch, we kind of play around. We'll play maybe to have a Ziyech, some other players. We don't possibly pursue the one target. We're not going for that arrow. We're going for all the other options. So with him on the field now, it's going to be hard to see how we're going to play. I don't think we've seen enough of him yet to see if he's beneficial or not beneficial in our team. I do think he still is beneficial. Obviously, he has a starting place here. Now that he's fit, he should 100% be starting every game. It's just how we're going to play around him. Because personally, I think we're going to play around Lukaku style. Whoever fits around Lukaku starts. Whoever plays well with Lukaku has to start because he's our main man. And we've seen it I'm going to give an example for Zenit. When he plays on the pitch, when he gets that ball, he scores. We know he scores. It's how he gets the ball. That's the issue there.
I hear you on that, Matt. Listen, great call, mate. Thanks for coming on and having yourself a disappointing day. Top man indeed. Thank you very much, Matty. Thank you. A comment here says, can't really take anything away from West Ham. They are good. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like Chelsea were too slow in their build-up. Yes, nothing can be taken away at all from West Ham. They thoroughly deserved their victory today. And no one's trying to do that. Of course, we focus on the traditional top six on the football terrace, so they're more the focus of our conversation. But West Ham were excellent. West Ham are the real deal. West Ham are going to be there or thereabouts this whole top four run. There is no doubt about it at all. I actually think that board should put their hand in their pocket. Zuma looks like he's out as well with a hamstring injury. They need to fix up that back line. 3.5, 4 weeks until the weekend, until the January window. West Ham need to go and spend some money, but they could genuinely beat everybody to this top four race. They're not my favorites for it, but they could do it. They're a serious outfit. Is the phrase signing a rival player? No, but some of these the type of player I'm talking, no, it isn't. I nearly gave you away another massive clue there. Is the secret phrase cult hero? No, it isn't, but good guess again. Row here says Lukaku is not the fault. 150 goal contributions in the Premier League cannot be a flop. These guys are deflecting. Play to Rom's strength. He will score. It was a defensive blunder. I do not rate Christiansen at all, is what Rose got to say here. CFC Gems coming on very, very soon. Whose side did that goal come from? Okay, you're doing that with Reece James's side. That's what we're saying there. Reece James's side that came from. It came from the right-hand side. Absolutely. Terry, make sure the likes of David, Gem, Monster, Daniel, etc. come on now because they seem to go hiding when they lose. Everybody's got the link. So everyone's got the link. Gem is here now to speak to us, though. Let's get those like buttons hit, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Gem, disappointing defeat to West Ham. Give me your take, mate.
I'm here to take the smoke. I'm not here to hide. Listen, I don't think our football club's given any rivals the reason to think that they can come at us until today. But before we even talk about Chelsea, I want to really say congratulations to West Ham, especially on that second half performance. I honestly think that West Ham team is the best West Ham team I've seen for a very long time. They are very, very good. And if you don't stop them from playing, if you allow them to play to their strengths, if you don't win the second balls, which we didn't in the second half, if you don't shut them down and you allow the Antonios and the Bowens to play their game, they will hurt any team in this league, whether it's Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United. They will. They can do it, I think. But in terms of Chelsea, I think it was a tale of two halves, Terry. I thought we played well in the first. To be honest, barring the mistake, which was a very poor mistake from not only Mendy, but Jorginho with the pass back. We lost the rhythm in the second half. I know I've seen a lot of people on social media talking about Lukaku. Ever since Lukaku came on the pitch, we kind of lost it. Now, I was not pleased with his performance whatsoever. If you want my honest opinion, I've said for a very long time, even before he'd even come to Chelsea, that I was worried about him being very static and will it affect our system? And when you look at the tale of two halves, we look more in control because with Havertz, he allows the system to tick better because of his movement. And I just feel like Lukaku, it might be that he's just been injured and he's only come back. And it is still very early to even sit here and talk about him being a flop or whatever. But from what I saw today, it wasn't good enough. You know, we were getting the balls out to the wings and he wasn't even moving in the box. His movement was poor. It was just it's like he waits for the ball to come to his feet rather than actually think about making that run to the near post. Do you know what I mean? Once the wing backs have got the ball. And that does affect the system because of the system and the way that we play it is it has to have rhythm. It has to have movement. It has to have people shutting down. You have to work hard. And he doesn't work that hard. From what I've seen today, he didn't work hard enough. And we moan about Werner. We moan about Kai Havertz. Yeah. You can only give the same energy for him based on this performance. I'm not saying he's crap and he's not good for Chelsea, but from what I've seen today, he wasn't any better than them two. If anything, Havertz was better for me in the first half because of the way he plays the system. That's it. So, I know at the end of the day, we have to just take the smoke, bro. There's not much we can say, is there? You know, we lost. We take it on the chin. We could be third by the end of the weekend. And listen, and I keep saying to people, 7 games in December, this can go up and down all the way through December. We could be third, then we could be second, we could be first again. That's what I'm expecting. So us being third now, we shouldn't be panicking.
I hear you on that. And I want to ask you this question. A lot of Chelsea fans, I've seen a lot on Twitter, these last few games have shown me this is why we can't win the league, why we won't win the league. What is your take? Do you feel like the result against United and the performances against Watford and West Ham, do you feel that's a sign that you're just not quite where maybe Liverpool or City are? Or do you just think, look, it's a bad 2 or 3 games, we're going to come good again? Like, where's your head at?
It's hard, Terry. I'm not going to lie, because without Lukaku and Werner, we scored 27 goals. And the issue we were saying is that we don't score goals. And we was doing that. So the fact of us not being clinical and not being able to score goals, I don't think is the issue. I do think that the system needs certain individuals in the team for it to work to its best ability, if that makes sense. So the fact that we've lost Ben Chilwell, I keep talking about it. Alonso coming in will do a job, but it affects the system. Our wing backs are so important in the way that we play this system. We create through our wing backs. We don't really create through our middles or our forwards. The forwards are the ones, the forward three are the ones that make the runs. So I think it's more of an individual thing. Depending on who plays in that position is how well the system will play. And not to say that Lukaku can't adapt himself a bit better to this with whoever's playing behind him, because he may do. He just may need a couple of games. He has been out for a while. But we need to see better. If we continue with performance like we did against Watford and West Ham in the second half, I've said it, I don't think we can win it. I don't think we can win it. But at the end of the day, that can all change, providing that we can somehow get these players, Lukaku and whoever else, to sort of tick. And that's the thing for me, because Lukaku needs to play. You can't spend £97 million on a striker for him to sit on the bench. It defeats the object of buying him in the first place, right?
Yeah, I mean, defeats the object. I suppose it is that question, though, isn't it? Do you look better without him? And I think that was thrown in as a question, as a little bit of salt before you went away. But you have to look at, I know he's come back from injury, but I swear he went 7 games before his injury without scoring as well. I remember at Man United, he started off really well. I think he had 10 goals in 10 games. He didn't score in every game, but it equaled out to 10 in 10. And then I swear he went through like a 10 to 20 game period after that where he got 1 or 2 goals. And there'll be a lot. And the problem is a lot of people are going to apply that pressure. And when you're £97 million, you're returning to the Prem for the second time, returning to the Prem for the second time, returning to Chelsea for the second time. There's huge amounts of pressure. And look, there's been links to the likes of Lewandowski and other strikers in recent days. In the back of my mind, we know what Roman's like. He's ruthless, and if he isn't getting what he wants from his players, he'll spend more. But I think you're right. I don't think you're out of the title race yet.
Just say one more thing. Go on. Say one more thing for a shoot as well. Am I panicking about where we are at the moment, especially in the last 2 games that I watched? No. I've seen this team consistently play to a level in the system that works, and we might find that a bit later on. But what I will say is that December period, and I say it for most teams that are competing for the league, for me, is the most important period in terms of accumulation of points. We don't usually have great Decembers, and we need to change that. We've beat Watford just about. We've gone and lost to West Ham, and we've got a couple of hard games, including Wolves and Brighton, etc., to play. We now have to get maximum points for the rest of December to still be involved in the title, and we can do it. So let's just not panic yet. Let's not panic yet. Let's hope Tuchel can go back now and get into training, work with the Lukakus, work on the system, and hopefully by the end of December you'll see that Chelsea is still up there and competing. So I would say don't panic yet, Chelsea fans. Take it on the chin, take the smoke. It is what it is. We're always destined to lose a game. Let's be serious. Not many rival fans have been able to come out and say much to us anyway, have they? Recently, this is the first real time that they can come out and.
I suppose the question is: has Michael Carrick broken Chelsea? Listen, my bro Jem, thanks for coming on, mate, and having you say. Speak soon, buddy. Thank you very much indeed. Ro here says, if Lukaku wins 2 Premier Leagues, he will be the all-time greatest Premier League striker. Stop blaming Lukaku. It is the defenders. Big claim there by Ro. Decent away days, awful result, and it's cold. Fatur's coming on very, very soon, people. The Wonder Boy. That isn't the secret phrase, but thank you for guessing. David's on very soon, people. We got Ram backstage. We've got Nick Blue backstage. We've got Ches backstage, the Beast. We've got loads of people that come still on the show. We are going to go through more calls soon. If we were not good enough, it is what it is. Individual mistakes costing us games. We are still in the mix. We go again. We have to keep going, is what Mr. Anthony says. I mean to say foreign strikers. Okay, I hear what you're saying now in your super chat. Is the secret phrase academy player? And then lol, Chelsea, you'll never walk alone. That isn't, but thank you for guessing. Can someone please tell me what Havertz provides? Listen, I honestly looked at Kai today, and I just believe he's this great conduit within the attack. He keeps the flow moving. His play is great. Sometimes it's the movement he makes to create space for others. I think in a run of games, he can score goals and he can create as well. The team just looks more fluid. And you were opening West Ham up in that first half. And by the way, Mason Mount's goal is going to be forgotten now because you lost. What a beauty. What a beauty that was from him. US Redmen says Chelsea fans need to calm down. All the leaders will drop points. Just enjoy the best title race we've had in years. Is the phrase one club wonder. It isn't one club wonder, but again, very, very good guess, my friend. It's not youth product either. Masuaku over Lukaku. But no worries. Next window, Roman will buy Chelsea a £100 million player. Their oil clubs are pathetic and say we are self-sustainable. Is what's been said there. A little bit of salt being thrown rival-wise there. Is the phrase academy player going to a rival? It isn't, Maria Williams. But thank you very much for your guess. Terry, been watching your channel since the days of you filming whilst walking to work. Love how this channel has come and the community you've built. Thank you for that lovely compliment. And we've got a lot more coming soon. Some of the new shows we're adding to the terrace in the next 6 months to a year are going to be amazing. So we're just building that all up slowly. But thank you very much indeed. Right, we're going to do some calls now. Back-to-back calls. First up, David is here, ladies and gentlemen, on the show to have his say right now. Smash that like button. Let's do it. David, poor result for Chelsea today. Give me your thoughts.
Just individual errors, really. It's not like we've been found out the system's breaking down. It's literally just individual errors. Simply, if Edouard Mendy clears the ball out and, you know, he then saves he doesn't anticipate a cross, we win the game 2-1. It's literally that simple. There's not much to say. West Ham played really well. They really wanted it. And when they're scoring goals like Masuaku's and Bowen's, like sometimes it's just another team's day. You can't really say much. But am I worried? No, I'm not too worried. You know, everyone's going to have to lose at some point. So,
no, I do get that. I mean, you still feel you'll win the league?
Yeah, I still think so. Again, for me, it's Man City. Man City are the big. I know Liverpool fans will be like, "Oh, how dare you forget about us?" My thing with Liverpool is I just think they're just going to run out of steam because they don't have enough players. But they just don't have enough players. My thing with City is I can see them in January going big, and if they go big and they're ahead of us, then it's going to be really tough to get ahead, like close back a gap if there is a gap. But it's just you can't really predict it right now. Liverpool still have a really good chance. Like if I'm doing it, I'm saying Chelsea 1, City 2, Liverpool 3. But if I was doing it like points wise, they'd all be within a point, really. Like it's very, very close.
Yeah, and it will be absolutely. I wanted to ask you your take on the situation with. There's two decisions today, actually. The first one I'll speak to you about is not starting Callum Hudson-Odoi. Was that a mistake from Thomas Tuchel?
You could argue so, but I mean, I felt the attackers in the first half did their job quite well. I mean, scoring 2 goals and a half. You can't really complain. It's just Havertz went off with an injury, then Lukaku came on, and nothing happened.
Well, that brings me into that because I maybe you're right. The first half he did play well, and I sat here thought I mentioned it in my space before the game, and then I thought, you know what, they're playing well. I think the mistake was bringing Lukaku on. Hudson-Odoi should have come on, and then you play Mount or Ziyech as a false 9. I just think you've looked better with a false 9 than a striker this year. Even Werner looks better when he's not being asked to play as a striker. Whenever you try and play with a target man striker, it's like you're playing with 10 men. And I'm not even blaming Lukaku. I just don't think your system suits it. You look better when you don't have one. Or maybe I'm misreading that.
I said I did say at the start of the season, maybe we should wait. Maybe we should just wait a little bit. Because again, when you're 100 million, like I'm right now with Lukaku, I'm having even though he just came on, I don't have time. Like you're 100 mil. I don't care. I don't care for excuses. I don't care if you're injured or whatever. You got to be scoring goals. You've got to be doing more than he did today. He came on for the half and he did nothing. Realistically, he is lacking service? Yes, but when top strikers lack service, they do other things in the game. And today he just didn't do anything. I just felt like he was in the box, kind of waiting. Balls were going in, and he was just never really in the right position. So. Again, for £100 million for a striker, 100 mil. And I said to everyone at the start, maybe it may not come off how you think. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I don't want to jump the gun because obviously I trust Tuchel. He can probably work it out. And they'll probably we could all say this, and then Chelsea win the next 7 games in a row, and then suddenly I look like an idiot.
Well exactly. So, I don't think baby should be thrown out with a bathwater. I'm just looking at the last few games, the lack of performance in the last 2, and the fact that you lose the league by a point, 2 points today could be everything because you were winning. That would be the bit that would be under my skin as a Chelsea fan. You were leading in the game twice and you collapsed and bottled it twice when really and truly that's uncharacteristic of a Thomas Tuchel team. You guys have got leads and you've held on to that. You've held on to them. Today was a little bit Lampard. It just reminded me of the Lampard era where you were taking leads in games, but you were always susceptible to be caught at the other end. Interestingly, you get called boring. I mean, I thought when you went 2-1, if you'd have actually just shut up shop and become really compact and resolute, which you tend to do, and countered, you'd have beaten them. It was a very strange performance today, no doubt. David, thanks for joining us, mate. Really appreciate it, buddy. Top man. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Row here with a super chat says, stop blaming Lukaku. He has 150 goal contributions in the Prem, the highest goal scorer for Everton and for Belgium, and he's just 28 years old. This hate towards him is wrong. Even Salah did not win anything in Serie A and MVP. Just respect Lukaku is good. Next on the show, Chesney's here with us to have you say, what you saying, Ches?
He's saying, sorry. Oh, what a game, man. That West Ham, fair play to them, man. They weren't more than us. They were battling tooth and nail to get the win in the end. But I genuinely think, I agree with the other two callers, we did enough to win the game. It was literally just a Mendy mistake. Why didn't he clear it straight away, Terry? You watched that. Why didn't he just clear it? He had the ball, clear it. You get a throw in, we'll corner. Worst comes to worst. Concedes a stupid penalty. Mistake there. Jorginho again. And Alonso for the second goal was weak. Adoy getting body was just individual errors. I genuinely think, like you said, today, we sharp. We could have won that game. It wasn't like they broke us down and we got exposed and they were relentless and we couldn't handle the pressure. Mistakes led to the goals. And yes, you could say the Watford performance and his performance weren't great, but it happens in the season. City didn't win the league, or Liverpool didn't win the league playing 38 games, winning every single one, playing brilliantly, did they? 36, sorry. They didn't do that, did they? So it is what it is. But the Lukaku thing, I hear it. Havertz plays in the first half. We create more chances. It's just a little bit more fluid and whatever. He comes on and it just looks a bit off. But I'm going to have to give it time in terms of he hasn't had much playing time with the squad. So although it's like he's come up from injury and he's 100 million and all this, like, I'm going to have to give him time. Havertz, when he played in that position, also wasn't doing that great. And so, like, you kept the same energy. We're like, oh, we'll give him time. And in the end, he's starting to flow into the false nine role and starting to get into the rhythm of things. So it's just overall just a bad day in the office. I thought the Watford game was capable of win, but today, that Masuaku goal, Terry, is that going to happen again this weekend? Probably not.
No, it isn't. It isn't, and it is a bad. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. It's a bad day in the office. What is your take on the Lukaku thing, though? Do you think people are reading too much into it, or do you actually feel you're better without him? Like, what's your honest opinion?
Honestly, people reading into it in terms of because 100 million and because the Man United tax, obviously, because I have Man United, and he just won the Serie A. So all those three things mean that there's extra emphasis on him. So you know how you notice after the game, Terry, is trending, even though Christensen had a really poor game. But Lukaku gets blamed, but we'll win the game twice. We'll win the game twice. That's not his fault. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So
yeah,
he could have done a lot more. He could have done a lot more. So,
mate, I totally hear what you're saying, bro. I really do. Ches, top man for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much indeed. Next, Fator's on the show with me now. It looks like he's at Canary Wharf. I used to work, and I recognize the building because I used to work there. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, all good, Terry. All good. It's not the best circumstances that we've met in this phone call, but yeah, I literally just came out from the away and Stratford, London Stadium, but. Yeah, not a good sight as a Chelsea fan. We've all been angry and frustrated with the performance. But to be fair, Terry, it's been coming since Watford game. We've had this warning when we won 2-1 against Watford, or we did play poor that game. And it's just today, it's just one of those examples that if you make a silly mistake, like we did today against the West Ham, you get punished. Simple as that, Terry. And unfortunately enough, I cannot be happy for all the players because I thought all of them poor from the back, from the goalkeeper, Mendy itself. It doesn't look that Mendy that we used to know. The midfield as well. The midfield Loftus-Cheek getting bullied a couple of times. Show as well. Lukaku's not had a best game though, but I think we're a little bit frustrated today, Terry, in my opinion. Because it's a derby, it's a big occasion, and it's mean a lot for the fans. But it's unfortunate that we play like this, though. But It could
No,
it could have been worse.
yeah.
It could
Well,
have been
no,
worse.
listen, I hear what you're saying, but you know Chelsea. I think under Tuchel, I think you're going to bounce back. There's a long way to go this season. It's not about writing off the whole campaign and going again, and that's what you guys need to do, mate. You need to do it. The great thing is about December is the games come thick and fast, so you've only got to wait a few days.
Still winning the fucking league. Still winning the league.
Look at that, see? A confident fan there, see? Still winning the league. Now, listen, Chelsea are still my favourites. Chelsea is still my favourites to win the league. I think it's a bump in the road, and I think you guys will get through it 100%.
This is the thing, yeah, because my worry is that it's about consistency, Terry, and today it's just shown that sometimes we can play ugly, but we won like we did against Watford, but today it's not the best case, is it? So I don't mind if we play poor as long as we win. And this I don't know about this result though. I think it's just like maybe we're a little bit annoying. This is because it is against West Ham because they are arch rivals, but still it's a London derby. The anger, frustration, it all comes up. Chelsea fans, typical, isn't it? So it is what it is.
Big up Money Mace. Big up Mason Mount. Absolute fucking baller. Baller.
Is that, hang on a minute, is hang on a minute, is that minerals? Is that minerals?
Yeah,
Is that minerals? Is it? Oh, I recognise the voice. I've never seen the face before.
Bring me Haaland, bro. Bring me Haaland. I fancy a bit.
Listen, boys, it's Johnny, boy. I didn't realise who it was, and then I heard the voice. And I was like, that's Johnny. Listen, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate it, bro. Top, man. Thank you. I thought I recognised the voice, and I'm like, I swear I know that voice, you know. I swear I know that voice. So my Wi-Fi's gone a bit mad for a moment. I'm not accepting mistakes as a reason. All goals are made through mistakes, is what Carl's got to say here. If Tuchel wants to win the Premier League, he has to make a system suited to get for Lukaku. It's simple. He's the main man, is what's been said. I know a lot of people that will understand where you're coming from. Next on the show, Tyler's here. What are you saying, Tyler?
Hey, what's going on, Terry? Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect, my friend. What do you want to say?
Good. Disappointed that we lost to our London rivals today. I think that this really shows, last time I was on the show, we were talking about, do we really have that many great defenders, or is it Tuchel making all these great players? You had mentioned a couple players, Phil Neville from United, who went other places and just didn't look as good after they left Fergie. I think this really proves that Tuchel is making a huge difference in this team. We had a lot of individual players making just a poor performance today. And, on top of that, I get that everybody thinks we should build a team around Lukaku because he was $100 million, but I don't think that fits Tuchel's coaching style, and especially with the injuries and stuff we've gotten this season, if we build a whole team around one guy, then he gets injured. Where do we go from there? And I think that Lukaku is a great player and he has the potential to be our talisman, to be doing great things for Chelsea, but it just doesn't fit Tuchel's system. I think that Kai Havertz plays more like a Firmino does for Liverpool, for us, playing in that false nine position, maybe not getting a lot of goals, but making a lot of space for other players. And I don't see Lukaku making the movements or doing the things that we need in our front line right now. Not saying that he's a bad player, not saying that he's the issue, but something needs to change with how he plays, because we can't create a whole team around him with the way the Tuchel system works.
Yeah, look, I think you make a great point there, and it's sometimes you'll buy. The thing is, just because you buy a player and you've got a great player and a great manager doesn't always mean they're going to work together. You've got to find something that's conducive and that works. And you got to look at it this way: if they play better football and score more goals in Tuchel's system without Lukaku, I don't think you should be changing your system to accommodate that one player. It's easier to change one player than it is a whole system. So we'll see what happens over the course of the season with that. But Tyler, great opinions, mate. Thanks for coming on and having your say. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Next up, CFC Beast is here. What you saying, buddy?
Yo, Terry, man, it's been a disappointing result, disappointing from the whole team today. But I feel as if before I get on to Chelsea, well done, West Ham. You know, they did the same thing against Liverpool. Hard to break down, resolute in their defending. Jared Bowen was immense today in what they were doing. You know, this guy was consistently a problem for our defense. And, you know, every time he was on the ball, he was looking like something was going to happen. Very dangerous today. And I feel like he's very underrated by a lot of Premier League fans. But I think that's for West Ham. That's for other people to gas him up on. Now, speaking from Chelsea, today was just mistakes. Like, you look at the front three in the first half. You know, Mount was playing well. Ziyech was looking good. You know, Havertz was dropping deep, passing onto the ball. You know, West Ham were pressing us high, but it wasn't. We were moving the ball very quickly, and we seemed to be getting out of it with ease. Now, in the second half, maybe people can say that's Havertz. That's Havertz coming off and Lukaku coming on, but one player can't just change our whole passing and play. Like, we started passing the ball so slowly. The movement wasn't that great. West Ham were pressing us. We were looking shaky. It was. I don't understand it. And you know, and as soon as we conceded that second goal, I said to my dad, he was on the other side. I said, "We're losing this game or we're drawing." And look what just happened. We struggle in these type of games. We struggle to score goals as it is at times. You know, we scored a lot of goals a lot recently, but we struggle against very good defenses. We saw it against Malmo. We saw it against Juventus when we played them away. We struggle at times, and as soon as we conceded that second goal, I was like, we're not winning this game anymore. I just can't see us scoring. We were scrambling. We were crossing the ball into the box, doing crossing initial. I felt like Lampard football again, and it's always the same thing. Whenever we come into this winter period, we seem to just collapse. This isn't the Chelsea that I wanted. You know, I thought we've gotten away from this. I thought we've changed, but it's just the same old. And I'm not going to blame the attack today because I feel as if, look, Lukaku did make us a bit more static, but at the same time, what did he get? What did he have creating for him? Like, I can't remember him really having a chance in the box. As much as people want to say that he made us static, he didn't get. I don't remember him getting any chance to be like, oh, he should have scored this, and you know, it should have gone in. Our defense was just shaky today. Yeah, Mendy had a few mistakes. You know, in the Jorginho thing, I feel like that's part Mendy's fault. That's also part Jorginho for putting Mendy in that kind of situation. And then in the second half with the Masuaku chance, that can easily be avoided by Mendy just by being a bit more quicker with the reaction. And then you've got the Bowen goal, which is great finish from him. No, all credit to him, but that can be avoided with Christensen or Rudiger just going in. Like, today wasn't our day. It wasn't our day. Like, anyone wasn't their day, you know. And I do get everyone saying that, oh, Chelsea can't win the league and this and that. I don't think we should go a bit overboard, but these are the kind of things. These are the kind of games you need to be winning. You know, we've had Man United, we've had that Liverpool game away, we've had Burnley. Yeah, we've just had West Ham now. I think those are 4 or 5 games I've just listed where we could have picked up an extra 2 points and extra 2 or 3 points, and we could be very clear ahead in this table. But just wasn't our day today, man.
I absolutely agree. I think any overreaction right now is mad because look, Liverpool and City are highly likely to win today, but it isn't like we haven't seen times where one team drops points. When you guys drew with Burnley, it was like, oh, that's going to be a terrible weekend. And then Liverpool went and lost to West Ham, and City lost to Palace, and both those results were unexpected. So look, I would say to people, at some point this could level itself out. Definitely some areas for Thomas Tuchel to improve on, things to think about. CFC Beast, great call, mate. Thank you for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, buddy. Next on the show, Nick Blue is here. What are you saying, Nick Blue?
Yeah, big up, Terry. First time for me to be talking on your show. You
No
probably
problem,
see me. You see me in the comments a lot, probably.
Loads, mate. Loads, Nick Blue. I have. Really appreciate you phoning in. What do you want to say, my friend?
Yeah, very frustrating today. Very frustrating. Mainly because we were winning twice, and usually we hold on to win these games. 2 big, massive mistakes by Mendy. The first one, the back pass from Jorginho. All right, maybe he shouldn't have back pass, but it was only a simple back pass. He should just kick the ball, not trying to be Messi. Trying to be Messi in the bloody penalty box. I love Mendy, but he shouldn't have been doing that. And the last goal was a fluke. What a fluke of a goal! But he should be saving that. Catch it. It wasn't. It was miles away. He had time to see it. I blame him for the match today, mainly him, and because we were winning the game. Like I said twice, and Lukaku come in the second half. You can't blame Lukaku. You didn't get one pass at him. He didn't get any service.
Look, I hear you on. That's a fair challenge. I mean, the goalie had an absolute nightmare today, and he should. The final goal that Masuaku scored, no top level goalie should be conceding that. He didn't.
But it happens. It happens.
It does happen, and look,
it happens with all the top goalkeepers.
Of course, and Mendy will save more points for Chelsea this season than he'll cost you, without a doubt. And he's well in credit in the bank and everything else. But
we can only say, like they said on the TV, he's only human. But he shows he's human. Before he saved us a lot. He won us a lot of games.
I hear that completely. Listen, Nick, great call, mate, for your first call on the channel. Really appreciate it, buddy. Top man. Thank you.
Cheers,
mate. Thank you. And everybody that's tuned in today, I really do appreciate each and every single one of you coming on. We are live again twice more today, so I've got to go watch the Liverpool Wolves game. We're live after the City game as well. We'll do a bit of a roundup after the City game with everything that's going on. Do me a favor, though, before you leave, and smash that like button. Thank you to all my super chatters, all of my members. I appreciate you all very, very much indeed. I really, really do. In terms of this game, though, Chelsea fans have got to not panic. Chelsea fans have got to relax. Chelsea fans have got to understand that there will be these bad days in the office. I think throwing baby out with the bathwater is a crazy concept. I think going over the top it's just not needed right now. You're a team in a brilliant position who's had a bad week in terms of performances and one really bad result against West Ham today. Yes, you collapsed. Yes, you bottled it a little bit today. But there's no signs for me yet that this is going to become a habit with Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea. You're still there or thereabouts. Liverpool and City will also themselves drop points in the coming weeks. There is no doubt about it. You will do okay. You will do okay. I think you just need to calm yourselves down. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you.